We are all familiar with the benefits of drawing. It's creativity, seeing the full context of a topic, engaging a different part of your brain compared to, for example, when you're writing. It is seeing connections, achieving clarity. By embracing imperfection, it creates this opportunity for a state of flow, and it creates engagement. Imagine standing in front of a flip chart and explaining something to someone else. And this is because drawing reconnects you with your childhood. Think of a class reunion. No matter how much people have changed, the old context pulls everyone back into their familiar roles. It's like stepping through this portal and doing time travel. And the same thing happens with drawing. It brings back the mindset you once had. Because as kids, we all drew. We explored freely, we solved problems through play, and we didn't yet know what was impossible. Picking up a pen today taps into the same state where creativity feels natural and new ideas come easier. And I can't stress it enough that drawing is not fine art. It's not even about stick figures. Drawing can be lots of things. It can be visual organizers like post-it notes in the dump, lump, jump method. It can be diagrams, word clouds, process flows, matrices, visual templates, lots of things. For me, the key differentiator between writing and drawing is that drawing is intrinsically spatial. You have a page in front of you and it's an open space of opportunities. It's non-linear. You can place ideas wherever you want on the page, as compared with writing, where writing is intrinsically sequential and linear because you start at the top left of the page and you finish at the bottom right, at least in the language that I read and write in, and you go word by word by word. It's essentially linear thinking. When you think on paper, when you think in drawing, then you become a spatial thinker. You open up this page that's an open space of opportunities and you discover the shape of the idea. And when we talk about illustrations, because I think we do need to talk about illustrations a little, I think sketching a concept is difficult, not because the lines that you need to draw are difficult. The basic shapes, you can see them here, are super simple. But it's because it requires clarity about the message you want to convey with your illustration, and because a single quote has multiple layers, multiple meanings. So let me show you an example. Actually, I'm going to be showing you 8 examples, 8 visual frames on a single idea. This is a quote from the 48 Laws of Power, from the preface of the book that we are reading in cohort 14 of the visual thinking workshop. And in session 2, we do concept visuals. So many of the visuals that you're going to see here were co-created with the cohort during session 2. The quote we're going to be talking about is by Niccolò Machiavelli, who lived from 1469 until 1527. And his key work is called The Prince. And this quote is from there. The quote says that any man who tries to be good all the time is bound to come to ruin among the great number who are not good. And I'm not going to talk you through each of these illustrations. I just want to show you that there are different ways to illustrate it, and different illustrations are going to drive very different ideas. So here the idea is about this tension between good and evil and how you can deal with that. In the next one, this is the tension that whatever you do, you cannot be neutral, and your choice will determine the results. It's either we both win, or that I win and you lose, or that you win and I lose. And this is essentially what this is about, that if you always try to be good, then in many cases you're going to be the one who loses. But then there's another way to illustrate this, and this is about choosing alignment, because your decision in a situation is going to have consequences, and then you need to decide on those consequences, choosing alignment with your own moral values in every situation. Two sides make you whole. Your evil side and your good side together make you, and you need to accept that you have both of them in you, and that's when you're going to feel a complete person. So that's what we captured in this illustration. And of course, I think the dangers of goodness, I think this is the core message of Machiavelli's quote, that if you want to be good all the time, regardless of the consequences, that can have dire consequences. But besides the visuals, there are different drawings that you can create to understand this quote. So I'm going to show you 3 examples. This is a double bubble map. I'm going to include a link in the video description if you want to explore double bubble maps further. In this case, the context of the double bubble map is at the top of the map. It says, I want to live according to my moral compass, and at the same time to avoid being ruined by those who act without morals. And I created 2 bubbles, the 2 focals of this discussion. One is living by my moral compass. The other is playing life as a strategic game. And this is, by the way, the message of Robert Greene's book as well, that you need to think about life as a game. And in this sense, your choice should be immoral, or power is amoral, meaning that power is about how you apply the rules of the game. It's not so much about your moral compass. Then the second diagram I created is from the theory of constraints. This is an evaporating clouds diagram, where the objective is on the left-hand side. I want to live according to my moral compass and avoid being ruined by those who act without morals. And so then I have 2 needs. On one hand side, I need to adapt to others' behavior to protect myself from ruin. And the other need I have is that I need to stay true to my moral compass and to maintain my inner integrity. And so this drives 2 different wants. On one hand side, I want to view life as a game and adjust my behavior to the rules, even if they conflict with my morals. And at the same time, based on my other need, I want to act consistently with my moral compass, regardless of the external pressures. And of course, these 2 wants are in conflict with each other. But you can see that this sort of visual and this approach is going to lead to a very different understanding of the very same quote by Machiavelli. And finally, I created this PMI approach. So I took PMI from Edward de Bono in Teach Your Child How to Think. PMI stands for plus, minus, and interesting, and it's an attention directing technique. So what happens is you don't try to think of the concept, and then when you have an idea about the plus, you write down the plus and then a minus and then an interesting item. But you first look in the plus direction and you list all the positives, all the opportunities that's created. Then you look in the minus direction and you think about all of the negative consequences, the bad things that can happen, the dangers. And then finally you look in the interesting direction, where you look at all the questions and opportunities that come up or aha moments that you had. So in this case, the statement that I explored in PMI is, to avoid ruin among those who are not good, I must adapt my behavior and sometimes act against my moral compass. And then I did the analysis. Again, you can pause the video and read it. This is not about the assessment, but this is to show you that on a single quote, you can do lots of different visual representations. They're all going to have a slightly different flavor and highlight a different part of the message. And you can do different type of visual representations in terms of diagrams and methodologies that are each going to result in a different perspective on the topic. And together they're going to give you a much deeper understanding than if you were to stop at the superficial level and didn't dig deep to understand the meaning of all of these abstract terms in the quote. And so this leads me to a final point, and that is the Sketch Your Mind conference. The way it links to the discussion we had today is, at the conference, it's going to be 5 days and altogether 17 sessions on visual thinking and note-taking. Each is going to bring a different tool, a different method, from visual facilitation to storytelling to the shape of your ideas to hybrid notes and so on. Each of these presenters are world-class thought leaders. Many of them have books that I'm sure you have read. Some of them are bestseller books, and they are definitely the most respected people in the industry. They were kind enough to accept an invitation to present. So this is your opportunity to participate in a masterclass on visual thinking. It's going to give you this broad overview of opportunities, because indeed, how the way we draw can change the way we think. And this is what the conference is about. And this is what my entire YouTube channel is about and my Excalitro plugin is about. I hope you enjoyed this video. Keep drawing, enjoy thinking, and see you at the conference. Thank you.